Welcome to Gunz and Bunz, the podcast that celebrates strong, successful women. If you enjoy empowering stories, be sure to like and subscribe to our Gunz and Rollz channel for more inspiring episodes like this one. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Gunz and Bunz Podcast for behind the scenes content, updates, and more. Thanks for tuning in. Today's guest is a true leader, learner, and champion for kids and educators alike. Sorry. Summer Joy Rogers is a devoted wife and mom of two to Haley and Tanner, and a powerhouse in the world of education. With nearly 27 years of experience, Summer has worn just about every hat imaginable, from 4th and 6th grade teacher to instructional facilitator and coach to assistant principal, and now a principal who's been leading schools for the last decade. She holds certifications in K through 6 education, K through 12 reading, and special education, and was recognized as Principal of the Year for her learning area. Summer also made history in North Carolina by establishing the state's first Leader in Me on-demand school, and she opened a brand new school in South Charlotte, no small feat for any leader. But beyond the titles, mom, wife, principal, coach, mentor, Summer is fueled by a passion for growth. She's an avid reader of leadership books, a dedicated runner and walker, and her happiest moments are spent cheering on her kids at the softball and baseball fields. Whether she's guiding a school community or reflecting on how to bring positive change to education, Summer leads with heart, vision, and a commitment to continual learning. Get ready for an inspiring conversation with a woman who embodies leadership at every level. This is Summer Joy Rogers. Welcome, Summer.
Thank you so much. I mean, I am completely honored by all of that. And feel a little old, but that's okay too.
You're so wonderful. I'm so happy to have you today.
Thank you.
Summer and I go back. We used to work together at our previous school. I mean, it's been a couple now, right,
Yeah.
for us. But I used to work for her. She was my assistant principal. So I was like, I have to have her on. She's such a doer in every way. And I just love your goals. You're so driven and determined. So I had to have you on. So
thank you.
Let's go ahead and dive right in. We're going to start with our first question today. It says, can you share a little bit about where you grew up and how it kind of shaped who you are today?
Yes, absolutely. So I have a little bit of an accent, so you might be able to pick up on that. So I grew up in the mountains of western North Carolina. And so a little town with one stoplight. Back in the day, they have more now, but it was Canton, North Carolina, about 30 minutes west of Asheville. And so I grew up small town and a place where, we had 2 high schools and, everyone knew everybody and everybody knew everybody's business too. And so it was a great place to grow up. And I was one of 3 girls and the oldest. So I think, that had a lot to do with who I am too, of just being the oldest sister. And, me growing up, my mom was a great role model for me because she was a single mother and went back to school to be a nurse. And so when she was gone, I was the one that was taking care of my siblings. But I also knew, even though mom wasn't there, it was because she was doing something really important, and she was one who always gave back to other people. I was actually joking the other day, like we had a new shirt or something on. My mom would be like, "Oh, I need to give that to this kid," and so we'd be like, "Of course." So mom would get us to also, give to others and help others. And again, I just grew up examples like that. So again, my mom really was a role model for me of being strong, setting goals and accomplishing those goals. And she graduated from nursing school and, gave me and my sisters the best life that she could. And so I think that where I came from and what I saw growing up led to my passion to want to help and support others. Not nursing though. I am opposite the blood and all of that stuff. But definitely wanted to find something where I could help and be a good example for my sisters, my families, and things that could make me happy too.
That's awesome. And so I have seen, following you on your socials, I have seen too how like close your family is. Like it seems like you and your sisters do get together.
Yeah.
So is everyone still pretty close in this vicinity? I'm saying, like in the Carolinas?
Yes. So in the vicinity, yes. So my sisters actually live closer to my parents. I was the one, again, that was the oldest, grew up, and I was like, okay, I am going to go away. I'm going to leave my small town of the one stoplight and go to the big city of Charlotte.
Wow.
And so, which was unheard of, right? Because if you were a lot of people from back home, it's not right or wrong. It's just a lot of people stayed at home, you know, and went to school, got jobs, worked in the mill, got married, did those things, you know. And so I knew I wanted something a little different, and so I chose to. I was student teaching, so I went to Western Carolina University. Yeah, let me back up. So go Catamounts. And loved Western Carolina University. It was a teaching college. Had great, wonderful professors. It was very close to my house, so where I lived and my family lived. So it's right there in Cullowhee, and so great experience in college. Got student teaching. So back in the day, you were able to do a year-long student teaching experience. So that really helped me, again, solidify that I wanted to be a teacher. And the person that I student taught with, she had a niece that lived in Charlotte. And she said, you know what, Summer, you keep talking about wanting to go to the big city of Charlotte, and my niece is actually looking for a roommate. And so I was like, okay, you know, I knew her. I knew that my student teacher, you know, I knew her very well and trusted her. And when I graduated, took a leap of faith and moved to Charlotte and moved in with her niece. And and I've been in Charlotte ever since.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay. So and we've been blessed with you. I've loved it.
So,
oh my goodness.
But my family's still back home. So my sisters and I are close. We talk, and the holidays coming up, we're going to get to see each other. But I am the one that broke away. Parents come and see us or celebrate with us occasionally, but you know, that traffic, they don't like the traffic coming down this way. So they stay.
Are they in education or no?
No. So my mom's a nurse, or she was. My dad was also a nurse at one point.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then, nope, they now work together with my sister. She has a cleaning business, which is amazing, very successful. And then my sister, the middle sister, she is very successful as well. She has presented at conferences with hundreds of thousands of people. She does a lot with benefits and healthcare, and works for companies to support employees. So she is very successful. I'm very proud of my family and proud of my sisters.
That's awesome. Well, so then let's hop into the education world. What was it for you that kind of made you decide to choose education?
Education.
You said, you know, like your mom was a nurse, loved to help people. It sounds like your family, they're all proactive in every way, shape, and form, trying to help other people. So why did you choose education?
So it was interesting. I actually didn't go into education first. I was going to be a psychiatrist.
Okay.
And so I thought, you know, just to be very honest with you, we didn't have a lot of money growing up, so just needed to figure out different ways that I could get college paid for. So I was applying for different scholarships, and there was one for being a school psychiatrist or psychologist, excuse me. And so I wanted to be a psychiatrist, help people with their problems. So again, that helping others mentality. And then did not get that scholarship, but went ahead and went to Western thinking that I was going to do school psychology. And to be very honest with you, I did not like all the statistics and the research part of it. So I was like, I enjoy school or learning about school and different aspects of it. I want to help people, but I don't know if really psychiatry and psychology is the way that I need to go. So someone said to me, hey, why not just take this, you know, teaching 101 class at Western, go in there and just see what you think. My grandmother, and again, as I'm thinking about it, I probably fought it, for a little bit, because my grandmother, who I was very close to, was a teacher a long time ago. And of course, when somebody tells you, oh, you would be a good teacher, I was always a babysitter, again,
Yeah.
sisters, all that good stuff. I was like, no. I don't need to be a teacher. I don't want to be a teacher. I will still help people, but I'll be a psychiatrist or psychologist. And so I fought teaching for a little bit, right? But then again, when I was taking these research and statistic classes, and I was like, this is not filling my bucket. Like, this is not making me happy, right? So I signed up for the Teaching 101 class, and at that point, it was just observing. And this is you'll find this funny, but I went to the class, and my very first assignment, just to do observations, was in a pre-K classroom, and those of you that know me know that I'm more upper grades, tall upper grades, did elementary and middle school, but I knew as soon as I walked into that classroom, I was like, wait a minute, this is where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. Like, why am I fighting so hard to do something just because someone said I would be good at it, and I wanted to do something completely opposite of what other people told me I should do? But again, maybe sometimes people see things in you that you might not see in yourself, right? Yep. And so as soon as I walked into that classroom, I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. And so just changed my major, went into education, and had amazing experience again at Western, and just learned so much about learning, teaching students, and then reading. That's where I also got on or added on the reading certification, K-12 as well.
Okay. Yeah. And then I also see, so you not only had the K-6 education, but also special education. Sorry, I can speak. Was that just an add-on, or was that like, how did you, so was your major like just general education, and then those were add-ons or certifications? So
I went general education, and I was kindergarten through 6th is my license. Then I decided to get the reading. Again, I had amazing professors, like Lester Laminack, who's a famous children's author and presenter, was one of my professors. Gloria Houston, my great aunt Arizona. I don't know if everybody knows the picture books. She was my teacher. Like, I had so many. Katie Ray Wood, amazing. She was my advisor. Like, she's written many books on reading, writing, and all those things. And they were my teachers at Western. They were my professors. So they made me fall in love with reading and writing, and that's why I got the extra K-12 reading certification added on. I actually did not get this special education added on until I was already a principal.
Wow.
And so, so I've only had that certification for a couple of years. Well, I say a couple, but like you said, it's probably been 8 years I've been a principal, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Time runs together, but I did that, and typically when you become an administrator or principal, they don't look at your additional license. Like, I was at one point national board certification, and I did all of the extra things. Yeah. Well, when you move up or when you get promoted, they don't factor that in. I had to go back and get my master's in administration and curriculum, so that's how I'm able to be a principal or an administrator, and I did all that through Winthrop and Queens. But then the district said they started a new program a couple years ago, and it was for anybody that wanted to add on special education. And I was like, again, like you said, I'm committed to learning, growing, always getting better. That's how we should all be. Yeah. And so I applied. And it was a lot of teachers who were applying to get this certification for special education. But what I said to them was, please let me be part of this program, because I support teachers. I work with teachers. I work with students. I work with families. And I wanted to be able to do that better. So I applied for that and got in, and it was a wonderful experience doing that for 2 years, and then being able to get that added on to my license as well.
That's awesome. Yeah. I wondered if that's the route you were going with that.
Yes.
I was like,
so I keep adding on and building on to where I started, because again, as you're in the work, you see the need, and you see the need how to support everyone, with anything and everything, whether it's teaching, learning, reading, special education, whatever it might be.
And that's its own little special like niche, right? Like it's its own entity. So like for you to do that, to try to like learn like everything about that program, I think is really important. That's awesome, Summer.
Thank you.
going to all of your different roles that I've seen you play, or you said you have been a 4th grade teacher, a 6th grade teacher, instructional facilitator, coach, you've been assistant principal and now principal, and then leading some different programs and stuff at your schools. But out of all those roles, I guess I have a few questions like, which one has been I'm sure you're going to say being a principal is like your favorite. Of course, it wasn't that the goal, right? To become a principal, right? But maybe there was one that kind of tugged at your heartstrings the most. I also kind of want to know, like, which one do you think is the hardest? Obviously, I mean, I think of one answer, maybe the role you're being in, but what have kind of been like the ups and downs along the way with all these roles, I guess, too?
Yeah, no,
so kind of
absolutely.
pick all those apart.
Yeah, okay. I know. And it's a long list, right?
Go ahead.
I believe in one thing that I believe in is, walking the walk, talking the talk, right? Like, I feel like you really have to know the inside and outside of everything that you do. Yeah. If you want to do a good job at it. Everybody's different. Yeah. So you have to really understand how you work as a person and what you need in order to continue to learn, grow, set goals, and be successful. I needed and wanted stepping stones, right? So I wanted to live as a teacher. I wanted to live as a coach. I wanted to live as an assistant principal. I wanted to live to a principal. I didn't need to just jump from, one to way over here to the other. And if you do, that's perfectly fine too. Again, for me, I wanted to be able to live each role and be able to experience each role and to be able to grow in each role. And for each role that I did, I was able then to take it to the next level if I was in a different school or in a different position. Okay. And so it's funny when you say that, what was your happiest? What was maybe the easiest or the hardest? And I would say all of them. Yeah. I would say because all of them, there were moments that brought me just pure joy, and there are moments that break your heart. Yeah. There are moments that, you are so frustrated, you don't know what to do, and you just have to learn and grow through it, not just go through it, but grow through it. And if you do that, then whatever comes next, you will just be more successful at. Doesn't mean that you ever arrive. Someone asked me the other day, like, do you feel like you've arrived? And I said, no. I said, if I ever feel like I've arrived somewhere, then it's time for me to go on. It's time for me to move and go to the next challenge and let somebody else come in here and do the work to make it better, right? And so I feel like I never will arrive. I never, as a teacher, I loved what I did as a teacher, but I never give up parts of that. Like I sat in the, you'll love this too, again, just because we have history together. I sat in the hallway last week with a 4th grade student who was doing a reading comprehension passage, and I sat there and taught her a thinking map and how to sit there and pick apart the informational text and details. And she was like, wow, you really know what you're doing. I was like, thank you. Yes, I do. And so again, I think, but I learned that as a teacher. Right. And then I made it even better as a coach. Yeah. And then, and I got to work with you. And how do you use tools to help kids think deeper and feel empowered, right? This little girl knew exactly what she was reading, understanding, and able to answer questions on it because of a tool that I learned and used as a teacher, a coach, a facilitator. And I did that as a principal. I never want to stop working with kids. I've worked with kids in every role that I've been in. Yeah. I've worked with adults in every role that I've been in. But as a teacher, the adult interaction looked a little different because it was, you were great, you had teammates, you were able to hang out outside of school and do personal things. And that was the adult interaction. Yeah. Whereas now I still build relationships with adults, but now I'm also helping to hopefully inspire those adults to see their own way and to set their own goals. And so no matter what role I was in, I did the same things, and they brought me joy in many different ways. I don't know if that makes sense, but no. I don't think. I think each role is hard, right? And because if you're truly continuing to learn, grow, and our profession is very complex. Yeah, I mean, parents are complex. Students are complex. You get new curriculums, you get new administration, you get new whatever, all the time, always changing, right? And so, again, what is your core? What are you doing? What do you believe in? And then how are you living that each and every day?
Mm-hmm.
And I think I find that I've been able to do that in every role that I've been in.
I was hoping you were going to kind of say they were all kind of hard in their own way, right? Like it doesn't matter where you're at. Like I felt that when I was at our previous school that we were at together, because I dabbled in many roles when I was there, like from 5th grade teacher to like science facilitator to magnet coordinator to TD teacher. And I remember feeling a sense of those years when I was out of the classroom, I remember feeling a sense of like, I went from like, I was a team player on a team with 5th grade teachers. Yeah. And all of a sudden I was kind of a separate entity. And I almost like, I missed the camaraderie of that team. I mean, but again, going back to the piece, like I was doing all the work for kids. I was, I think I felt like I worked just as hard, if not harder, than even when I was a classroom teacher. But I bet other people were probably like, oh, you don't even have kids. What are you doing all day? But I remember feeling it was a different kind of hard. I worked my hardest. It was a different kind of hard than being in a classroom with kids. So. But every role is amazing and has been rewarding. So I can kind of see where you're saying that
I
too.
think that also goes back to, again, your heart, your head. You know, as a person, I really believe that that's what because you're going to make sure that no matter what title you have, whatever role you're in, right, you're going to do and be your best that you can possibly be, you know, and you're going to ask the questions, you're going to do the hard work, you're going to fail, and you're going to say, you know what, I don't know it all, you know, but you're going to make sure no matter what role you're in, you're going to do it to the best of your ability. And I got to see that, yes. And even same working with you know, different people, I now look at it of like, how do I, you know, as a teacher, how do you inspire kids, right? And then hopefully now I get to inspire kids and adults too, right? I mean, I remember getting you out of the classroom and being like, we've got to make sure that everyone sees your greatness and your impact is beyond the four walls of your classroom. You know, you have got that gift to be able to share what you're able to offer with more than just the students here. Yes, the students in your classroom, but instead of 20, let's impact 120, right? And that's the way I view every role too. And so that's where I think too, just as a leader, again, you're always going to do what's best for kids. You're always going to do what's best for whoever you're working with for, you know, and doing it with them. But I guess that would be a difference, would be the impact, the level of impact, and the level of responsibility, the level of weight, but not weight in a bad way. It's just, you know, again, here I'm impacting 20, here I'm impacting, you know, at my current school, 670, you know, and that's not including the 100 staff that I have, you know. But again, the way that I'm leading is not going to change because I'm going to lead with heart. I'm going to lead with head. I'm going to take risk and I'm going to try no matter where I am.
What would you say is like your favorite area to kind of work with as a principal? Like, is it the curriculum piece? Is it more the community piece of the school? Is it, I mean, what's your favorite aspect of your job, I guess? Is it the kids? Is it, like, I mean, what's the best part, I guess?
It's the greatest. It really is the greatest, hardest job. You know, I kind of compare it to being a parent, right? It's the greatest, hardest job you'll ever have. You know, I did want to say something, you know, because unfortunately there are sometimes people are in these roles and, you know, whether it's teacher, whether it's facilitator, whether it's principal, you know, there are people that you could do bare minimum, right? And I think that we've probably all seen that before, where it could be somebody who does just close their door and do whatever they want to do when really that shouldn't be happening because, again, teaching and learning is complex. Kids are complex. We need each other. You know, we need each other to collaborate, share ideas, help us see things. But there are people who choose not to do that, right? And so you have to make sure that even though that there are people who are not living to their best self, there are people that are not doing everything that they can in the role to have the biggest impact that they can, that you stay true to who you are, what you believe, and you surround yourself with people that do that too. So I want to note that, like, it's not it's not sunshine and roses all the time, right? It's really not. But if, again, you surround yourself with people that are doing the hard work, that are celebrating the wins, who are lifting each other up, who are also working through the hard stuff together, like, that's what makes it also rewarding. Again, no matter whether you're in the classroom or you're leading a school, those are the things that you need to be doing, and stay true to who you are. Yeah. And just don't ever settle. Yeah. So I did want to make sure that I did point that out, because I think we all see people that sometimes aren't doing that. Yeah.
That blows my mind, because I am the opposite of that. Like, I feel like I give 110%. And so when I hear that there are some perceptions that teachers do that, but there may be people that do that. Yeah. I do not. So that I'm floored by that. Someone told me the other day, and I hope she listens to this, but someone told me the other day that she heard that teaching is only hard for the good teachers. And I was like, you could use that anywhere in life though, right? Like, parenting's only hard for the good parents, right? The ones that really care, that are like trying their hardest. I mean, it's true, because you could go in, close your door, and just do your thing. And you could. I don't know, or not take anything home, maybe you can get by doing that. I am not that person. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's how much you put into it too.
So you asked me, like, what was like the most rewarding, right? And so what I would say is the most rewarding is to be able to work with people and help them see their potential, help them see their greatness, and see the impact that they could have. It's also to be able to have the conversations with people and the coaching that needs to happen if it's not the right fit for them. Yeah. Because I believe we should respect each other enough to speak. My staff knows I say truth and grace, right? We need to always make sure that we speak truth, but we do it in a supportive way. And I've had conversations with people who I have said, you are not happy here. This is not bringing you joy. This is not something where you're able to be your best self. And that's okay, but it doesn't need to be here at school. Yeah. Like, let's find another career for you. Let's find a different path for you, or let's find a different type of school, so that if this is your heart, then let's find a space where you are able to be your best self and have the greatest impact. And I've had conversations like that. And so I think having the conversations with people and helping them see what they need in order to grow means that then I'm also impacting the kiddos. I'm impacting the teams. I'm impacting and supporting the people who are giving, 110% every single day. And I think that's one of the best reasons that I do what I do, is to be able to truly see people for what they are and what they can be, and help them get there. So always setting goals, personal and professional, helping them be a sounding board, or coming in and being a mirror for them if something's not working and they're trying to figure that out. And just how rewarding it is when they're able to accomplish those goals, or as a school, we're able to accomplish those goals, or I see them being truly happy, and it's not in education, and that's okay too. I think sometimes, especially as women, we try, to just do what people tell us to do, or what we think we should do, or I started this, so I need to see it through. But if it's truly not bringing you joy, if it is truly not fulfilling you and rewarding you, even when it gets hard, then life's too short. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, this is not for me, or not right now. Right. Because but sometimes we don't do that. Yeah. Sometimes we don't do that. At one point in my career, someone was like, oh, I need you to go and do this. I need you to be this principal here. I need you to do these things. And I had just had 2 kids. And I was like, that's over an hour and a half drive for me. Yeah. I have little babies at home, and I'm going to say no. And this person said, well, you don't want to be seen as a no girl, a no person. Oh. And I said, I was like, I'm honored that you think this would be a good move for me. But I also have worked here for a really long time. I feel I have built a really great reputation. I have done many great things, that I don't need to say yes to this because you want me to say yes to this. This is not a good fit for me right now. Oh. And I didn't go to be a principal at that time. I went ahead and I stayed an assistant principal because that's
For
what I needed to
you.
do, right?
Yeah.
But again, when I was ready, when I knew I was able to commit and to be my best self, and that was the next step for me, then I said yes, right? And so again, I think sometimes we feel like we need to or we have to say, yes,
Yeah.
I'll do that, or yes,
Yeah.
I'll take this on, or yes, I'll do all. For who?
Yeah.
There's nobody but yourself
Wow.
that you need to answer to.
What is it that, I mean, when I hear you talk, and I'm just so amazed because like you're kind of like the opposite of me in a sense, very like I was one of the youngest in my family, but you said that you're like the oldest, right? You remind me of my older sister, right? Like the oldest that like takes control and leads, and like you did what was right for you at that time, and look how it's just paved the way to success for you. I mean, the schools you've been at have been, would you say, more convenient, the ones that you've been at since, I would say, that offer? Would you say they've been closer, a little more, maybe
Yeah,
the best fit?
yes, it was a better fit and path for me.
Yeah.
And that where I was in my moment in my life, right? And because I do give 110%.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very honest, like I love work, right?
Yes.
I love work. I love what I do. And it at times, so this is another little lesson I'll throw in here, right? Just because I do love continuing to learn and grow. I used to think that there had to be a balance between work and home, right? And that to me is a lie.
Yeah.
I think that if you're trying to find a balance, you're gonna kill yourself. Like you're just really, you're gonna, I can only spend this much time at work, so I need to be this time at home. I need to, and then you're always letting somebody down, right?
Yeah.
And again, as women, sometimes we beat ourselves up over that, right?
Yeah.
Or we say, oh, I'm spending too much time at work, or I'm spending, I didn't go to this game, or I didn't do these things with my kids, right? We're always continuously, I think, questioning our choices. So one of those was trying to find balance. There has to be a balance. And again, I read something or studied something along the way, and it said, no, there is no balance. You have to prioritize. Now, when I say this, it doesn't mean that I'm going to put work over family.
Right.
But in our, in our careers, there are very busy times of the year that when you open a school and the school year starts, there's a lot of work that has to be done, right? So what you have to do is you have to look at wherever you are, whatever's going on in your life or your work life, and you have to prioritize different times.
Yeah.
And so my family, which has always been supportive, I have an amazing husband and my kids have grown up in school.
Yes.
They know beginning of the year for mom is very busy, that I'm establishing a school, I'm got a lot going on with classes. Like the beginning of a school year is super, super busy, right? So when it's busy here, right, I might not be as visible there. I might be longer hours at work. But then once it has settled down. We are in a routine. We are in a flow. Then this comes back up, right? So now I am going to all the games that I need to go to, the practices, trying to go to the grocery store and do all those things, right? It's when we stay up here and we don't necessarily have to, right? So it's figuring out those priorities. Or, my girl's was trying to get into college. So that was taking priority.
Yeah.
And then I had to rely on my team. And I couldn't be at every single thing that I needed to be at in my job or in my work. But that's where I fell, and said, hey, my assistant principal, who's amazing, hey, I need you to lead this. I need you to take this on because right now I need to prioritize this. And so it's these ebbs and flows of being able to prioritize your job that you love, your work that you do, and then also the family that, of course, you love too. And I think once we start really, truly looking at the time that we have, because we always say we don't have enough time. It's not true. We all have the same amount of time as anybody else. It's how you're prioritizing your time that you have.
Yes.
And making sure that you can do both the things that you love.
Yeah.
Right? And there's not a sacrifice, or you're not constantly beating yourself up. You have open conversations about it. Again, here's the busy time, and then here's the busy time here, right? And it's constantly going through that. So if that can help anybody, I think that really was an eye opener for me of like, stop trying to find balance. Stop trying to make it equal.
Yeah.
Because at times it's not gonna be equal.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's also, don't let this take over either.
Right.
Or this take over and you get so stressed out because you're not meeting deadlines and you're not doing all the other things you need to do. So
I know. And then the older I've gotten and the busier our family life has shifted from like, you go from this time when your kids are so little and need you for everything, but now they don't need me for everything except to chauffeur them everywhere. So now I'm in that busy part of life, right? Like, and so it's just figuring out like the best times, right? Like prioritizing exactly what you said. But I was just thinking about you and some other like powerhouse women I've had on that are like, you're very just strong in your views, like knowing like what was going to work for you in your life at that time. And I feel like it just paid off. So knowing what you want, prioritizing your goals, and understanding that, yes, you're a mom and a wife, but you can also be the boss. And I think that's so powerful. I don't know. Cause like, and you hit kind of the nail on the head too. You said like women, we have guilt if we work hard in one area of our life. I feel like if I'm working extra hard on school stuff, then I feel like my home life suffers. And then like, because I'm so busy with all of those things, like the laundry gets swamped and like all the things just pile up and it gets to be daunting. But what I have found is I prioritize, but like maybe I prioritize in a different way. Like, I have 10 minutes now. I'm going to throw in a load of laundry. I might not get to switch it over until later tonight, but at least like prioritizing those little smaller pieces in those small moments where I can, because that'll help make the bigger thing more manageable, I guess. Is kind of important. That's where I've been lately in my life, if you want to know.
As my kids are getting older, because mine's a little bit older than yours, I would say
do the laundry.
I know exactly. But what I'm learning is if some laundry has to be done, also bringing them into it, right? Like teaching. Haley's getting ready to go to college next year. I got to make sure she knows how to do laundry. Tanner, bless his heart, he's 14, almost 14, and I'm like, he's like, where's the detergent go? You know, and I'm like, okay, we know laundry's important. We got to do laundry. Let's make this a family thing right now. So one, it's a win-win, right? I'm spending time with him. I'm teaching him a life skill, right? And the laundry's getting done.
Yes, I know.
Right?
Hannah has helped recently in the last couple of weeks, so that has been helpful. Just even having her change it over for me from like the washer to the dryer. I'm like, oh my goodness, can I just get a little help? Oh my goodness. But it's a lot. No one told me about like the sports equipment, like the uniforms and like making sure everything is like clean by a certain day for practice, for this, for that, for this game. Like, oh my goodness, it's such an ordeal.
It is. it is. And keeping up with everything and them having, you need
like a parenting class on that or something.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So let's go back to the idea or the topic of like education too, like for newer teachers, because I was thinking too how like sometimes you have those teachers that have been in the business for a long time, and so they can become a little toxic. So when I see these new young teachers, I'm like, oh, bless you. There's still people out there that want to do this. Yeah. So what advice would you give to someone who is just starting out in education?
Advice I would give to someone starting out in education. Again, I would say make sure you're doing it because you want to do it. Make sure that you're not a teacher because someone told you to be a teacher, right? I would say surround yourself with people. This is what I do always, even 27 years in, that are smarter than you, right? Yeah. So when you are in the PLCs, you're with your team, and ask the questions, right? Go and see the classrooms. Really build those relationships, because again, I went to an amazing college, but college doesn't prepare you for the real world and being in your own classroom. So the more that you collaborate, you share, you ask questions, you surround yourself with people who are amazing and love teaching, right? Then you will continue to learn and grow in your practice. Never feel like you've arrived. I guess that's the thing. It's like when you feel like you're endlessly reaching this finish line to where you feel, you've got this teaching thing, you need to look at it again, because kids are complex. The world's complex. Our kids are coming in dealing with things that we didn't have to deal with, or weren't exposed to. Teaching and curriculum is a lot different than it used to be, and the jobs, are different than what we were when we were in school. So again, you are in here to really truly teach them to be amazing people, to be thinkers, to ask questions, and you have to model that for them. So don't feel like it's your job just to be the expert on everything or to you're telling the kids everything. Your job is to create an environment where kids feel safe, where they can ask questions, where they can mess up. And it's the same for you as a learner. Like as a new teacher, you're going to mess up. You're going to need support. You're going to ask questions. That doesn't make you look weak. That doesn't make you look like you're not prepared. It makes you look human. And that's what we have to make sure we do too. Again, going back to as women, we feel like we have to always have it figured out.
Right.
I'm very blessed in the sense that I was able to open a new school. I was able to hire all the people in my building. And there were some people who, depending on the shift, because we were a relief school, that were assigned to our school. I was able to meet with them before the transfer fair to say, listen, you were chosen to come to the school, but this is what our school is going to be about. It's going to be about teaching, learning, growing kids, teaching them how to be leaders, us being leaders and modeling that for them. And if you don't want to come, then please don't come. This is an opportunity for you to go find a better fit school for you. So I am excited and have the amazing opportunity that it's a building full of people who care about kids, who care about each other, who are willing to challenge each other, but challenge each other in a great way. To be like, ooh, I know we've always done this unit on so-and-so, and it's really cute, but can we add something different to it to make it continue to be more rigorous for our kids? And I've got some brand new teachers that have joined the staff. I've got an amazing teacher. I don't know if I can give her a plug.
Go ahead. If she,
so Miss Geller is her name, and she is truly amazing. She's in her 4th year. She has her on TikTok and Instagram, and it's all about being positive in education. She loves being a teacher, and she wants the world to know that it is one of the greatest professions ever. And I think that is super exciting to be able to see people who are young and who love education and they love what they do. So yes, Hannah Geller, shout out to her because she's amazing and just has come into our school this year, and it feels like she's been there forever. Again, what she believes aligns with what we believe. She gives 110% when she works, and it's the same thing. My school has a great partnership with our high school, and I have to give a little shout out about new teachers because we started a program where we get the high schoolers to come over, and they mentor once a week and work in each classroom of my building. And hopefully, our hope is that we are actually creating a pipeline of future educators and teachers, right? So where it started with just a handful of students last year, that was, I think we had like 15 or 16. Now we have 42 that's at the school coming once a week. We have a board. They've created their own board to help support the high school students, pushing in and working with students and mentoring and teaching leadership skills and life skills to students. So much so that now they also have created a club at the high school that has hundreds of students who are now volunteering to come and help either at school events at the elementary school or so we're trying to also grow a pipeline of new teachers so that you can see how amazing teaching and education is. And get excited about it because we need that. We need that for our future. We need that for our kids. And I just think it's super exciting to be able to do that.
So is this all connected to the Leader in Me program? Can you kind of speak to that? I mean, you keep talking about leadership, right? And creating leaders in your kids and maybe even in your adults, right? Like getting them to step up to do more than going further and beyond, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about this Leader in Me program and how you made history in North Carolina by becoming the state's on-demand Leader in Me school.
So actually, a lot of businesses and corporations still do Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So that is where this started. And they're based on that book and based on, and that was for adults, teaching them be proactive, synergize, work together, all those things. A principal saw it in Raleigh, North Carolina, and was like, I want to bring that to my school. I want it to be a leadership theme. And so that's how Leader in Me started, from based on the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People to a elementary version of teaching students these life and leadership habits, right? And so I, again, reading all the time, continuing to learn and grow, it aligns very nicely to what I believe in my life and in my profession, right? Of just continuing to be your best, to set goals, to work hard towards those goals, to work with other people, to seek first to understand, then to be understood. So Leader in Me is a framework. We don't like to say a program because it really looks different in every single school. So it's in over 500 schools across the world. And I wanted to be able to bring that to my previous school and then my school now. And the problem is it's very, very expensive.
Yeah.
And to be able to, with the license and all of that, to be able to use the language and use the habits and all of that. So I believed in it so much, and it aligned with what I believe as a person, that I reached out to the corporation and I said, I want to be a Leader in Me school. I am not a Title I school. I am not a magnet school. Typically, in our district, we have 2 Leader in Me magnet schools that the district pays for them to be Leader in Me. Or they're in Title I schools because you have Title I funds that are able to pay for the license to be Leader in Me. I didn't have either one of those. I'm a neighborhood. The 2 schools I've been a principal at have been neighborhood schools, right? Not magnet, not Title I. But talk to them. They interviewed me several times to see if I could do the on-demand version, which was a fraction of the cost.
Okay.
But it was basically train the trainer model. So they would train me and my team on how to implement Leader in Me framework, mindsets, principles, habits, all of that. And then we would train our staff. So they had to interview me to make sure that I was a well enough leader to be able to pull that off, right? Because this was their name, their corporation, and of course they didn't want to look bad, right? So I had to prove to them that I believed in this, that my team was willing to go through the training and to be able to train others, and that we would do the best job that we could possibly do to bring it. And they agreed, and it was very successful. And that's why it's on demand. Because typically schools will have their team from Leader in Me Corporation come in and train the staff, right? That's where the money comes into play. But because I didn't have that, it was train the trainer model. And so we were trained, and then we trained our own staff. And all the staff went through 40 hours of professional development. The great thing about that is that professional development had nothing to do with kids. It was all about them as people. How do I set goals in my life? How do I, what do I do when things get hard? How do I react? How can I be proactive? How can I really work with other people to accomplish a goal? So they went through all this training when it wasn't talking about teaching it to kids at all. It was about them working as how they can continue to grow and be leaders, right? And then the second part of that was us now teaching it to 4-year-olds, because at my current school I have pre-K, all the way to 5th grade now, and so now we're able to live it, learn it, model it, and then teach it to students to be able to do. So they are, like we say, they're leaders of their learning, leaders of their behavior, leaders in the school and community. And now the high school students that come over and mentor are learning these leadership life skills, implementing it in their lives, and then coming over here and reinforcing it in our classrooms. And so, again, our hope is to make the world a better place. We always say that, right? But hope alone's not a strategy. So if that's our hope, is to make a great, world for everybody, what can we do to have to make that impact? And us, by being a Leader in Me school, by again living these habits as adults, teaching them to students, and then now our school community is now learning and living it. Then I feel pretty proud of that we were able to do that.
Because you took it on too, and as a leader, like making that choice, and it's not like you even delegated it to someone else. You're like, I am going to be the leader that goes and gets trained, and then I'm going to train this. Like, that's really powerful.
Yes.
Because I feel like in education too, there have been times where we've seen people become principals or leaders, right? And we're like, yeah, but if they haven't actually been in the trenches in a classroom, or they haven't actually done it themselves, have you seen people where they've been like, well, what do they know, right?
Yeah,
but like, you're actually doing like what you expect everyone else to also do, right? Like
Always.
you're setting the scene, right? You're
Should always
building that
lead
strong
by example,
foundation.
right?
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I guess this next question would go great with this because I would wonder, like, one thing I know about you, you're an ideas girl. I feel like one thing I loved about you when you came to that our first school together, we did not. I don't remember having a social committee, but you were like. You're so good with the social events. And I remember one year you decided we're going to have a Christmas party. We're going to do it just like if it was like a, I don't know, mortgage company or some other place, and they would have this beautiful party for their staff. We're going to do that. And you organized this entire event. Like we got money raised and it was amazing.
A hotel ballroom.
Yes,
and got
you were
dressed
amazing.
up.
Yes, we did. Yeah,
Dancing.
so she remembers.
Bar and band.
Go
and
big or
everything.
go home, right? Like you have all these bright ideas. So what is it that kind of helps you come up with these ideas? Like, how do you stay up to date on some of the latest trends or like research? I know you said you love to read, but like, where do you get some of these back to school ideas? Like at the Charlotte Speedway? Like, I know the things you do. Summer goes big. So where do you get these ideas and the research? And
let's see.
all that
So
for these bright ideas.
I really, if I do something right, I want to go all out, right?
Yeah.
But I also want it to be something that's memorable, and so again, it makes my heart happy that you remember these things, right? Makes me cry over here.
I love it.
But I want to create experiences for everybody. I mean, teachers, that's what we do, right? We create experiences for kids all the time. And we want to, and I know you do that. I've seen pictures of your classroom that you do for all the kids. You know, you make it into a restaurant or what have you. It's the same thing that we need to do for adults too. So if we expect teachers to do that for kids, then you should expect your leaders or your administrators to do that for you. And so one of the things, I don't want to do something that's not important. So I really have to believe in what we're doing, or it has to connect to something that we're doing or align to something that we're doing. So, yes, I try to figure out a theme for the year. And I listen. So what I do is I'm always listening throughout the previous school year to see like what is it that our kids need, our staff need, what needs to be our focus. And then how can I create an experience that's based on that, that then is that anchor, that experience that everyone can come back to and remember. And hopefully, right, inspire them to do that and pay it forward to their teams and to their kiddos, right? And so, and it's really cool now because even my daughter wants to be the softball captain. This is her senior year, and she wants to be one of the softball captains. And she's like, I got to create an experience for the softball team. And so she's like, Mom, help me figure things out, which makes my heart happy too, right? Because again, it's that doing things for other people. But some of the things like we did the team, right? So you come into a new school, you've got to be part of a team and everyone needs to know each other. And what does it mean to be a team? And one of the experiences going to the Knights baseball stadium, right? So we went there because that is a baseball team. You are a team. And we got the baseball shirts and we took pictures and we met in the VIP lounges, with the team and each grade level. And that truly then drives home the message of being a team and creating those experiences. Yes, we were accelerating learning one year, and I worked with the district, the community, my PTA, to be able to take the staff to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, right? And we were able to do the simulators, right? And we were doing the race cars because we were accelerating learning that year. And so every year I do a theme or I do a retreat for the staff to be able to, again, just make it fun. I mean, we work so hard. We need to enjoy what we do and make it fun, but also an experience that everyone can remember that is a key memory and anchor to go back to. And then it's cool to see how then teachers take that and spin that off with their students, So this year we were unleashing our leadership. And so, we had a great experience with Splatter Charlotte. I don't know if anybody's ever been there. It was really fun.
Is that the painting one?
Yeah, where you go and you throw the stuff and you unleash, your inner artist. And I saw that on their website. It said the word unleash because I was like, everyone has genius. That was our theme because that is habit, our paradigm, the way that we see the world and see the kiddos is paradigm 2. Everyone has genius, right?
Okay.
And so when you have genius, you've got to have the courage to unleash it, right?
Yeah.
And whether you know it or not, it doesn't necessarily have to be a strength. It could be something that you want to do that you might not know yet, right? So we focused on unleashing our leadership this year as a staff. And we did the experience of unleashing with the paint, and we now have this beautiful mural in the main hallway. We call it our great hallway, great hall in the school. And every staff member splattered that paint up there and unleashed their inner artist.
Yeah.
And now that carries throughout the school building. The language that we speak, the way that the teachers say that to the kids, the way the kids say that to the other kids, you know. And so always, again, just trying to look for things that are fun.
Yeah.
But not just fun, that's meaningful, aligns with your purpose, your why, what you're doing, and you create those experiences for the whole staff.
Yeah.
And that's been really cool.
That's awesome. And that's what I've always admired about you. When I think of you, I think
Yeah.
of like this ideas girl. Like you take it and then you make it this beautiful thing. And I loved it. I absolutely loved working with you. I think because that's something I want to be. Like I want to be that person that has those ideas and can bring it to life. And then in those social areas, like social events, I try to think like of fun things for us to do so that we can build community. And realistically, if everyone is in a better mood or happy, right? I think of the phrase like happy wife, happy life, right?
Yes.
But like same thing with your staff. Like if you really want to have a happy place for kids to learn, then your staff also needs to be
absolutely
happy and in a good space. So
well, and I mean, you think about it, like we are always on, like we always have to be in front of whether it's parents or kids or whatever. And I mean, that can be exhausting. That can be taxing. That can be a lot.
Yeah.
So how do you create a space where everyone, adults included, feel like they're a piece of something pretty special, right? And so that's what we try to do. I try to do. And it just, I feel like it gets better every year. I know I keep thinking I need to write a book and write all this down.
Your ideas, I know.
But again, it needs to be something that, like, what I don't want is someone just take it and then say, oh, let me do it. And it be something that you do instead of something that you believe in, love, and live.
Yeah.
Because then it won't have the same impact. You know, if you really have to think about your reason why and what's your put, because it's a lot of work. Just to be very honest with you, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I start planning for these in February.
Wow.
Again, based off of what I'm hearing, what I'm seeing that we need. And it's a lot of things to pull together that I work on for, till August of when we execute it. But I know that if I do that, then my staff's going to feel important. They're going to feel valued. They're going to feel special. We're going to have something that we can live, hold on to forever. And then that's hopefully going to get them excited for the upcoming school year.
What do you, on the flip side, this is all wonderful and I adore it, but what do you do with those naysayers, the people that are, and because this kind of leads to my next question, I was thinking about like hardships and how do you handle hardships and struggles and challenges? Because I know in the educational world, like you're a problem solver every day. Like, and as a principal, you're the one that handles all the problems. So how do you handle the naysayers in every area of your career?
I would say that, again, just going back to those leadership habits, right? Seek first to understand, then be understood. Everyone, as we say with kids, behavior is a form of communication, right? It's the same thing with adults. So if somebody's naysaying something or someone's negative, there has been something that has happened in their past or at a previous school or with previous administrator, right? That has made them feel like they can't, or they did it wrong, or something. So you have to get, I say, curious instead of furious. Those are always little things, right? Instead of me going, well, you will do this, or this is non-compliant behavior. You need to be doing this. Why? Why are they bucking it? Why are they saying no? Why are they negative, right? Because in our job, you are, again, on all the time. You are in front of live people, whether they're 4, 12, or 72. You are in front of live people, and you can't fake it. And that's what I guess I see is the people who try to fake it, where this job could eat you alive, like mentally, physically, like it will. And so I get curious, right? I say, hey, let's talk. I ask questions. I say, tell me why. Because again, it's either something's happened in the past or they don't know. They really don't know how to do it. They don't, and they don't, no one's given them or modeled for them or given them the opportunity. It might be like, oh, go make this happen, but no one's really shown them how, right? And so again, but you won't know that unless you talk to people. And, you know, that is one thing that I would say, even going back to the new teacher question, you have to talk to people. You have to talk to your colleagues. You have to talk to parents. Sending messages, you know, are great and grand, but when there's true conversations that need to be had, you have to have them in person or at least over the phone. And too many times now we're not picking up the phone or sending an email or a message, and things are getting lost in translation, whether it's an adult with an adult, a colleague, a supervisor, you know, to an employee, whatever it might be. Things are getting lost, and then it becomes this vicious cycle of negativity, and it can become infectious and be a poison, and you don't want that. The easiest thing to do is to go and talk to the person and ask them questions. And that would be one of the things that I would say. That's one of the things that I've noticed with just naysayers is everybody, again, whether you are 14, Tanner Rogers, or, you know, an adult, you're going to always try to save face. No one likes to be embarrassed. No one likes to know like they don't, or look like they don't know anything. So an attitude or a naysayer, there's something going on there. Yeah. And you've got to, it's your job to figure it out, whether you're the principal or whether you're a teammate. You got to talk to the person and say, hey, what's going on? Hey, what? This is the way that I'm feeling. This is the way that I'm seeing. Let's figure this out together, right? Yeah. And I think if we did that, that would solve a lot of problems.
Right. I know. I keep hearing you with the leadership piece talk a little bit about like kind of empowering other people, and I was even thinking. I did this crucial conversations course with the district before for the teacher leader program, and they talk about, you know, that first line of communication with other people and identifying like what is that person's truth, because everyone has their own truth of how they perceive a situation to be, and so sometimes just going to that person and saying, this is what I am seeing and this is what I am thinking, and kind of hearing from the other person will make for a better circumstance situation.
And I mean, opening a new school where I had people from that had experienced many different things, had many different teams, been on many different teams, many different bosses or principals or whatever. Like, communication was key when we all came together. It was to honor however they, you know, the past that they had, past experience that they had, the ways that they did things, you know, the ways that they didn't do things. You know, I had to honor that and bring that into the space and then work collaboratively together to create the new, you know. So communication, number one, honoring where people are. If you're stuck in the yuck, okay, I see that, but I'm going to support you to get out of it, right? And if I'm stuck in the yuck, because we all get stuck in the yuck, even as positive as me and you are, I get stuck in the yuck. Me too. But if I'm stuck in the yuck, you can't be. We got to respect each other enough and support each other enough to help you get out of that. How am I going to get you out of that? Is by asking you questions, checking on you. How can I support you? I'm not going to try to fix you, because again, that word support, right, looks a lot different to everyone. And so support, you know, when teachers or someone's like, oh, I need more support. Well, I might think I'm giving you support, right? But that might not be what you need. You might need something else completely. But I think I'm supporting you, but you've not asked me or I've not asked you what it is. What specifically support do you need, and what does that look like? And if you had that specific thing, how would that change the outcome? Back to asking those questions, taking the time. And if we've got to do that so we can move forward, because when we avoid things or we just let it go on or we don't say anything at all, right, then we're saying that it's okay to act that way. It's okay to be negative. It's okay. I go back to truth and grace, right? I'm going to speak truth to you, but I'm going to do it in a supportive way. Your attitude, your negativity is bringing everybody down. Like, and it's not making us be our best selves. Please tell me what's going on. How can I help you? How can I support you? Another thing with that, you know, a long time ago, people used to say, whether you were talking to a parent, you were talking to a friend, whoever, let's sandwich it, do the sandwich model. Let's do something positive, say the negative thing that we need to say, and then something positive. No, that's not true. We need to quit that, because people are too smart now. And they think that you are talking down to them, right? Or they're only looking for the negative.
Yeah.
And once you say negative, then it negates everything else.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Speak with truth
Mm-hmm.
and grace.
Yeah.
Hey, I noticed when we were saying this, you kept shooting it down or putting it down, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I know if we work together, it's going to be
Mm-hmm.
something great. So tell me why. Tell me why you're saying these things and how can we work through this together?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't sandwich it.
Right.
I spoke truth.
Yeah.
And I spoke it hopefully with grace.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know?
That's great. I love that. Yes. So to kind of keep yourself out of like the negativity and getting sucked into, because like you said, we can all get there, right?
Yes.
'Cause it's a very demanding job. What is a daily habit or ritual that kind of keeps you grounded? Maybe when you're inundated with a bunch of tasks, or maybe another parent email or something.
Yes.
Or something sets you off. What is it that kind of brings you back and keeps you grounded?
So I heard this from a preacher one time, and I really thought about it because we are so busy, right? Whether it's life, whether, family stuff, whether it's work stuff, whatever's coming at us, right? And we wake up and our phone's going off, or we immediately go to check our mail or our email or our messages or whatever it might be, right? So I have really, over the last couple of years, I like to start the day in the Word and not the work.
Yeah.
All right. So if I start the day in the Word, and so I have this little Bible, and my mom knows to buy it for me every Christmas, a different one. And it's just a little pink book that I have on my coffee table. So I wake up, I get my coffee because I am a coffee girl. And I go, of course, now, Bethany, now I've got some readers because the print's a little, a little small. And I read a scripture. I read a quote, and I reflect on that. And I think about, okay, whatever comes my way in the world, like I have the Word to ground me.
I love it.
And that is something that I feel has truly put me in better spirits. The work will always be there. You will always get another email. I will never clear my inbox.
Nope.
I think right now it's like 392
Oh my
emails.
goodness.
And, for that brief moment, it feels good when it's empty, right?
Yeah.
But if I wake up and I look at my email first thing, right, I'm going to get frustrated. I'm going to get overwhelmed. And I'm already starting my day that I will never get back, right? Because, again, we all have the same amount of time.
Yeah.
How do I want to spend that morning?
Right.
Stuck in the yuck, or something that's going to cause me out of my control to get stuck in the yuck? What can I control? I can control waking up, not checking my phone, getting my cup of coffee, and bringing out my Bible and reading it. And when I do that and I start the day in the Word and not the work, it truly, it just changes my whole mindset.
Yeah.
I'm still going to get that angry email, or I'm still going to get something that might have been due last week, right? But I'm able to do it more calmly, level-headed, and it doesn't set the tone for my day or my life.
Yeah. That's what, in the morning, I'm always like, Jacob, we're listening to Christian music on the way to work. So it sets my tone for the day, but then I road rage and I have to turn down because I feel it's disrespectful.
I absolutely get
Hold
that.
on, Lord.
Right?
Turn this down. No, but I always am like, I want to go in feeling like peaceful, like it's like putting on the full armor, right? Like before I go into battle, right?
No.
That's how I feel every morning.
Well, and when I don't do that, then I feel it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm off. Why am I off? And I'm like, dang it. I did not start my day the right way. And I have to share this. Again, where we talk about that hard role as a woman, being a mom, right? And also a professional, again, and someone who loves work. I don't think work's a bad thing. So again, when we're trying to find that balance of, I can't bring my computer out at home. Yes, you can, if there's something that you've got to prioritize at that moment, right? But, my kids pick up on your bad habits and your good habits, right? And so I can remember the kids going, Mommy's always on her computer. Yeah. Okay, well, let me stop and reflect. When do I need to be on it? When do I not need to be on it? Because it's one of those things that can, suck our time.
Right.
But the other day I went up to Tanner's room. This made me start crying. Oh, and he had one of my previous little Bible books, right? Because it's only a year. It's a year. You read a little day. It's not long because I don't have, that much time to do that, right? I got to get ready, blah, blah, blah. And it was laying on his nightstand. Yeah. And it was one from, the previous year. But the quotes in the Word doesn't change, just the date, right? At the top of the page. And I don't know where he found it. But now it's laying on his nightstand. And as a 14-year-old boy in a world of craziness, I'm like, have I done something good in the sense that
Yes.
I'm now modeled the word and not necessarily the work, the word that'll help him when he's faced with all these challenges.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I love that.
I know,
song.
right? So I had to
I
share
would
that.
cry too. I'm so proud of my Jakey. I'm gonna put this out there. He's getting baptized on the 30th, so coming up very soon. So yeah, is that already next Sunday? Oh my goodness, next Sunday!
Congratulations!
So I'm so
It's
proud of
super
him.
exciting.
I'm like, just that he made that choice. So I love it. I know exactly what you mean. It's just rewarding when you see like your own kids carrying out like that and living that out. I just warms my heart. All right, so we're getting closer to the end, but I just had a couple of more questions. The premise of the podcast is strong, successful women, and I thought of you right away.
Thank you.
And so, what do those two words kind of look like to you? What is strength and what is success?
Strength is, I would say, just continuing to be true to who you are. That to me is strength, because it is never going to be easy. It's never going to be perfect. You know, even moment to moment, things can happen just like that are out of your control. So strength to me is continuing to focus on what I can control, how I'm going to react to something that has happened to me, or something that someone has said to me, or something that's been done to me. So strength is knowing that I am in control and of the things I can control, right? I am in control of the things that I can control. I think that is true strength, because when we are trying to control other people or control circumstances or control the what ifs, you know, I have a tendency to always go catastrophic. Well, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is going to happen, you know, especially when, you know, my daughter started driving or she's going to be going to college. I can't control all of those things, but what can I control? What strength can I exhibit? Can I model? Can I live? Can I instill in her that whenever something does happen, she's going to be okay? You know, so to me, that is strength, is knowing what I can control, and then not worrying about the things that I can't. And then success is loving life. And I think just loving life in the workplace, loving life with family. Again, it doesn't mean it's all sunshine and roses. It doesn't mean that it's easy. But if I can say and celebrate wins each and every day, because they're there. Right. Sometimes we don't stop to take the time to celebrate them and reflect on them and make them present, then we're wasting those opportunities, right? To experience success. Success is not a finish line. You will never arrive. And if you are thinking that you are just endlessly working to cross this magic finish line, it's not good for you. It's not good for your family, and it's not good for your career. It's really not, because by the end, you'll be exhausted. You'll be frustrated. You will not be the version of yourself that you thought you were going to be. And so I would say success is truly each and every day. You should be experiencing success, because you should have something that was positive, that you've celebrated, that you reflected on, and that can carry you to the next day.
I like that. And that even goes back to your point about like who you surround yourself with too, the people like that are going to be there to kind of like let you know, hey, like they're going to maybe pull you out of that yuck that you're in, or maybe set an example of how like the right way to be or get your mind back in check. Because I think that's really important too. Like, you know, that accountability partner that's going to kind of keep you grounded as well.
Yes.
So,
I mean, just sitting here today, you know, again, I go back to being a woman, right? And you know, all the amazing things that you've said about me. And I know those amazing pictures, so I can dress up and look the part too sometimes. But I can also have a baseball cap on and jeans and shoes, right? It's also hard sometimes to take the compliments.
I know.
And take the praise and so I'm working on that, even at, you know, how old am I now? 48, going to be 49. But when I leave here today and I'm driving back home, I'm going to reflect on all of this, and I'm going to celebrate it, and I'm going to win it. And I have already sent like the little Instagram post to this to my daughter, Because that is huge. That's a celebration. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes in the moment, we just brush them off as someone compliments us or someone says that we've done a good job or doing a good job. And I would just tell everyone who's listening, like, stop, celebrate the wins.
Yeah.
Have the success, because they are there each and every day in the little things and in the big things. I mean, this is a pretty big deal. I'm super excited to be here with you.
Aw, that makes
Never
me
done
happy.
this before.
I love that.
But I feel very honored to be
Yeah.
able to
Thank you.
share my story, I guess.
I know. And I'm so happy that you decided to come. I know. And sometimes it's like you don't realize, like, doing the work, like it is kind of hard doing the work of this, something like even the podcast is an undertaking, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, does it really matter? Is anyone really listening? Is it like, but it is rewarding, and I find joy in doing it. And I think it can be a positive difference in the lives of other people. So I'm so happy that people believe in it and that you would love to be on it, because that just warms my heart. It means we're doing the right thing, right?
I'm proud of you, and I've been able to see you grow into your amazing self over the last what decade? Long time,
right? It's been a long time, right?
So I'm super proud.
I was thinking back, like, you came to Hannah's second birthday, so like we've known each other for a long time.
The great thing is we might not talk every day, but it's like when you meet those people too, right?
Yeah.
And then you're able to years later see them again and be able to say, oh yeah, you are part of my circle. You are part of like my happiness and my successes that I look back on.
Celebrating all your wins, you and your kids. I mean, you're amazing kids. Well, so before we close up, I want to kind of leave it with a happy note. Like, who is it or what is it that's inspiring you the most right now? I know, like, the whole college venture we've been investigating with Haley, and so what's going on in your life? What's kind of inspiring you right now before we wrap up today?
Yes, I would say the season of my life right now, what is truly inspiring is my girl. So you're going to get me crying on this one.
I love it.
But Haley Rogers is my oldest, and the great thing that I think that I also realize is, like, we're learning how to do this together, right? We're all like, she's my first, and being a mom, this is my first time being a mom, right? This is my first time being a mom of a 17-year-old. It's my first experiences with getting her ready for college in the future. And I'm just so super proud of her. She is her own person, and you can see the traits that she took from her daddy and from me. And again, if I stop focusing on what I can't control, but also what I can control, and I can control supporting her on the path that she wants to go. The girl has chosen to play softball in college, and she put herself out there. And I am athletic, but I was never a college athlete, and she wanted to take this on, and we went and she joined a team, and she's pitching against, D1 athletes all summer across the United States, and putting herself out there, in front of people. And, super proud of her. It's nerve-wracking for me because I can't control it, but I can trust that what I have done has supported her along this journey and will continue to support her. So I am inspired every day by how brave she is, how she has made a goal. Again, she's committed to working towards that goal. She's not going the education route, even though I wanted her to. She decided to do business. There's where her daddy's coming into play. I know nothing about business. But I go back to leadership, right? And so whether she is leading on the mound, in the during softball, or if she is leading on this path to being a college athlete, like, she is leading in her own way. And that is inspiring to me, because that is not the typical path that I went down. That is not the college experience that I had. I mean, it's softball and it's class, and that's her going to be her journey. And I'm super proud of her for that. So again, how is it going to look when she is gone, when she is at college? And, but I'm still her cheerleader, and I'm still there supporting her, right? And doing what I can control, which is be there for her. And I got the phone beside the bed. So when those 2 a.m. calls come in, I'm going to answer them. But she's super inspiring right now to me, as well as our kids always are. But to see her grow, she'll be 18 soon into her own person. Has really, truly, I'm very blessed to be able to experience all this.
Yeah, I love that. That's such a great answer. I know the older my kids are getting, I'm just starting to think like it just goes by so quickly.
It does.
I've loved every age that they have been in, every stage of life.
Yeah.
And the older they're getting, I'm like, I'm starting to find like, have I taught them everything they need to know in every situation or circumstance? So like even going back to the laundry bit, like, do you know how to do your laundry? I don't know. Like you probably need to watch. Or do they know how to cook? Do they know how to do all of these things?
Yeah.
And all you can do is trust that you've equipped them, like you said. And just, it's been great admiring Haley's journey.
Just remember that even with life, you will have never arrived, right?
I know.
So you're never going to fully prepare them for everything. It's right. It's like, what have you instilled in them and what relationship have you built with them so that when those things do happen that you've not told them about, right? Then you are there. They know that they can come to you for those things. Yeah. So again, don't put all that pressure on yourself to have to have done everything, right? Because you won't. And the cool thing is you don't want to because you'll experience it with her, right? In the moment, or with both of them. So,
oh, that's so great. Yeah, I just know those high school days are going to be here before I know it. And I see like what some of my mom friends are going through, like, or their kids are in their first year of college. And I'm like, before I know it, those days will be here. And that's a whole different thing to worry about.
Time flies when you're having fun, right?
I know.
It really does.
So finally, are there any goals or big ideas or anything you are kind of thinking about in the near future, whether personally or professionally, that you wouldn't mind speaking about? Do you have any your sights on anything, or maybe some goals for your school or moving forward?
For my school, just continuing to be the best that I can be for everyone, and creating a space where we're all learning, we're all growing, we're all happy to come to work. Again, doesn't mean it's easy, and we have challenges each and every day, but continuing to, create the best school that I can for everyone. Personally, this is craziness. I'm already looking at retiring from North Carolina.
Wow.
So, it's really crazy to think about, in the next couple of years, I will retire.
Wow.
Because when you retire from North Carolina, but you live in South Carolina, right? So, because once you put in 30 years, again, I have almost 2 years worth of sick leave.
Wow.
So it's, because I love work.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
And that's why I didn't miss a lot of days, That's been an interesting journey, is just to think about like closing a chapter of North Carolina.
Yeah.
Again, though, I got 2 kids, so I will not be like retiring, sitting on the porch just reading my books. But when you retire from the state, and you have 30 years, of course you could stay, but then you would be losing money. And so all of that is just interesting to me. So, yes, I'm going to do the rest of my time and then be looking at retirement from North Carolina and moving in to South Carolina.
Because you're so young still.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I'll be 48. I'll be around 50. And then when I retire, and then we'll see what the next journey holds.
Wow.
But, again, it'll be something that brings me joy. It'll be something where I get to continue to work with kids, and I get to work with adults, and I get to set goals, and I get to create something amazing for everybody, including myself. And so I'm excited about what that could be. But it will be here before you know it, where you're talking about high school years. Like, it's really crazy when I think back, coming down to Charlotte and starting, in 99 student teaching and first job, and now to be sitting here where a couple of years I'll be retiring from the state. This is crazy.
That is crazy. That's so fast.
And it's like, no, I'm not ready. But it's been a really cool journey, and it will continue to be. And hopefully my hope, right? Hope alone's not a strategy, but my hope is based on all the things that I have done. I've been able to inspire others and make an impact in a positive way that will continue whether I'm there or not.
Yeah.
And that's what we all can just hope
And then
for.
one day when you're officially retired, you'll be heading up social events at like some
Right?
committee or something. You'll knowing you.
I know, right? I can't stay
sit still.
still. No.
So funny. I love it. Aw, well, is there anything else we didn't touch on today that you would love to talk about? I mean, you see yourself maybe in the future when you retire, like just staying in the Carolinas too, though, like, or would you ever travel, or
I don't know.
You had no idea.
I have no idea.
No.
I mean, I'm open to it, but
Depends
yeah,
where
I
the
don't
kiddos
know.
end up, and
Yeah.
depending on that.
Yep. But I
for
will hopefully have, my kids in my life and,
Yeah.
and be able to support them on their journey.
That's
And
awesome.
I mean, again, those are crazy things
Yeah.
to think about, but,
Yeah.
but just continuing to love what I do and try to find joy in each and every day. That's what I want to continue to do.
Yep.
But no, I would just say, just continue to be true to yourself. That's the biggest thing,
That's
but,
good.
and there's not something that you have to do just because someone says that's
Yeah.
something you need to do.
Mhm.
Just need to continue to lead with your heart
Yep.
and your head. It took me 45 years to get my first tattoo, but I do have a tattoo now. This is
Oh.
Walk by Faith.
I love
And
it.
that's just what I had to be able to do, And I think with whatever life throws at me, I have to walk by faith, right?
Yep.
And know that there's only one person, which is God, that I got to worry about,
Mhm.
because I used to worry about what everybody else thought about
Yep.
me, the way I looked, the way I dressed, the way I did
Yep.
things, whether I took the job or not, right?
Mhm.
There's only one person in this
Mhm.
world that I have to worry about,
Yeah.
and that's God. And once
Yeah.
I realized that, it was very freeing,
Yeah.
to where it was like, if I was speaking to you,
Yeah.
online or in a conference, like I would get so worked up or nervous before. Why?
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
nervous excitement, but there's only one person that judges
Yep.
in this world. And so
Yep.
I think once I realized that and I was living up to my expectation and his, it really was
kind
very
of-
freeing.
Yes.
So I would say if you are a person that is so worried about what the
Mhm.
world thinks or what everybody else thinks, and you're not being true to yourself, like, please reflect on that.
Right. And going back to that mom aspect, just to kind of piggyback off of some of the things you've said, like there is a lot of pressure to do like all the things, like as the holidays approach, like the stress of like making
Mhm.
everything perfect and going to all the things at
Yeah.
the festivities and am I invited to this? Am I invited to that? Am I like it's just so much, and sometimes it's so exhausting and it just takes over. And I finally am getting to that point too where I'm like, I just need God in my family. I'm tired of like trying to please the world because
Yeah.
I will never please the world.
Nope.
Like I just continue to let people down, and it's like I can never live to that expectation. So I've just decided, I'm like, nope, I just need God in my family. That's it.
That's exactly
So
right.
to go back to all of that, it's just, I mean, it is very freeing if you think of it in that sense.
Like it really truly is. It's life changing when you think about
Yeah.
that, right? And you
Yeah.
don't worry about.
Can't be burdened down by it.
No.
So
No.
I love it. Great. Amen. You've said so many
Yeah.
good things.
Well,
love
thank
it.
you for giving me the opportunity
Yeah.
just to share. And again, if one little piece
Yeah.
resonates with someone, then
Yeah.
I'm again very, very fortunate to have been here. So
Good.
thank you.
We've had so many golden nuggets. You just stay tuned. There will be so many. All right. So as we sign off today, I would like to invite you to support us with some fresh gear. Our Gunz and Bunz merch is available at gunzandrolls.com. From rash guards, shirts, hats, bags, to stickers and more, we have something for everyone. You can check it out now at gunzandrolls.com. And thanks for the support. Don't forget, for 15% off, you can type in the code BUNZ15. So before you go, if you've enjoyed this episode of Gunz and Bunz, we'd love for you to share it with someone that could use a little encouragement. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our Gunz and Rollz channel so you never miss a new Gunz and Bunz episode. Thanks for being a part of the community. We appreciate you. Bye.
Welcome to Gunz and Bunz. Strong fearless, unstoppable. Let's roll. Welcome to Gunz and Bunz. Strong fearless, unstoppable. Let's roll.
Just got out of jiu-jitsu, but I had to throw this on. I love my new kit that came from gunzandrolls.com. It's got the Triumph gear on it. It's got the Pedigo representation on it. Gunz and Bunz podcast. I got Gunz and Bunz podcast on the sleeve. I even have some insignia on the back. Gunzandrolls.com. Gunz and Bunz podcast. Triumph and Pedigo. I love it. Ignore my jiu-jitsu hair. But anyway, it's so cute. It's now on gunzandrolls.com. It's even got these cute shorts underneath, right? So it doesn't ride up. So I love it. I hope you guys do too. These are so comfy. They fit perfectly compared to the other ones that I had that were a little longer. So I hope you check it out. I hope you guys love it, and go to gunzandrolls.com. Thanks guys. Bye. Guns and Rolls.